We haven't started with just us joking around.
Oh,
We're all serious.
I was getting ready to say, yeah.
Ethan looks like he's down there listening to a whole song. He looks like he's in a
Right.
studio
Oh, my bad.
right now.
Right.
You just better
I
be
know.
in the studio.
I know.
It's lights. It's just lights.
Yeah.
I just tried them out.
It sets the studio vibe.
You like
Yeah.
them?
That's his down
Yeah.
with her.
Almost
her,
broke.
her
Yeah,
Almost
she's
broke the
in her
standard.
portal. Look, she's watching TV, doesn't it?
she's like she's in her zen.
She's in her zen zone. Yes, yes. Feel it.
Ryan
David.
looks
Yes.
over us.
Yes. got an African garb on to do with with the black and the yellow and the green and red and like Freddie from a different world. Just praise the Lord. It's just.
And you're beautiful, Desi. You're beautiful.
I'm not saying nothing about how she looked. Nothing.
Terrible, Pastor Nick.
and all her Black Queen beauty. She is beautiful.
Yes, she is. Fight the power. Praise the
So
Lord.
ignorant, yo.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to another Fr3sh Friday. We're being silly as always. I think it's because we're tired. I know I am.
Yeah.
But we're here. You know a phrase I wish you'd retire? This person understood the assignment. Who created that phrase?
Why
I don't know why I dislike that phrase so much. They understood the assignment. She understood the assignment. Maybe little things like that just bother me. Maybe it's because so many people say it, or I just think it's so corny.
It's popular right now, yeah.
Who created that?
Who assigned the assignment for it to be understood?
Right. Yeah. This
There's a
person
song
dressed
out
right.
too,
They
isn't it?
understood the
I
assignment.
thought it was a song.
Oh, it's a song too.
It is? I didn't know it was a song.
I thought it was a song before the phrase came out, though.
Yeah.
Well, I know that some people say it to like encourage others, like when they look good and stuff like that. So you understood the assignment. You knew what you had to do. You know, when you hype up your friends. Don't y'all all look at me like y'all don't.
No. I'm listening to you.
I think it's more so like, when you get an invitation to a party and it's like black tie, and like it's always that one person that doesn't come in actually black tie. But when the person like does come up decked out, it's like, see, you paid attention and you did the homework.
But they're using it for a whole lot of other things now. They understood the assignment. This person did this. They understood the assignment.
When you do something correctly, it's just like that's like a good job. You did it.
Yeah.
You did that.
Hercules. but to me, aren't you supposed to know what to do? Some aspects,
You'd be surprised.
Common sense.
Some people don't. I get it. Common sense is rare sometimes.
But that's a topic in itself.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, we all showed up because we understood the assignment, right?
Amen.
Exactly.
You
understood the assignment by saying it at the perfect time.
See how corny it sounds?
Look at you. Look at you sounding like a Generation Z baby. Go ahead, Pastor
He's a
Nick.
millennial. Don't hype him up. He's a millennial.
Oh, I love us.
What's funny is like you did a thumbs down, but I know you wanted to use another finger.
No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do something like that. I am righteous and holy. Why would I do something like that? I thumbs down. The Lord is moving tonight.
Yes,
right now.
don't say that.
Thank you. Why would you say that? Accusing your pastor of wanting to do something like that.
You have Sister Ashley.
And look. You see how she always takes it too far. We be like right there, and she just takes it like all the way over there.
Jesus, mercy, Father.
Somewhere.
This is why I always stay on mute, because like I don't have a
I tell people, y'all don't believe me. They be like, I'm like, Desiree is shady. No, she's not. She's so nice.
I am not shady.
Yes, you
why
are.
Would I know? Look, why
Kevin,
would I say that if it wasn't something I thought a thing would happen?
Have you ever seen me do that?
I didn't say I never saw you do it. I'm just saying what I think.
You too. You know what? I'm done with this Fr3sh crew.
She understood the assignment.
Hey yo,
Lord.
Yes, that's Nick. Yes.
She called you a dog once, right? What kind of dog
she called me? A dog. She called me a lab.
Oh,
a golden retriever.
Yeah. Maya's gonna try to save her. Here she goes.
She called you a golden retriever.
I'm not saving nobody. I'm just saying what she said.
She called me a lab. She called me
called
a
you a
dog.
golden retriever.
And you barked. It's the bark for
She
me.
called me a golden retriever. Yes,
She
she
called you a
did.
golden retriever. Yes. And she called Maya
Nice.
something else once. I can't remember what she said. It'll come back to me soon.
I have
I
to
think-
go with my notes.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I
that.
get the notebook out.
No, it's sweet. What?
Anyway,
The
we're
notebook
5 minutes
out.
into this. We have a serious topic to talk about.
Hi, family.
I feel
Sorry, Pastor Nicholas.
it's okay. Y'all come on and share, please. Share if you can. You know, you're like one of a few people I actually let call me that like that. And Pastor Nicholas. I don't know why. Just few people just I don't know.
It bothers you a little bit, right? Yeah.
No, just certain people they can get away with saying. I'm like, oh, whatever. Just
Yeah.
But that's your name.
I know. I know. But when you grew up and people used to people calling me Nick and not my whole name, that's what I'm used to people calling me. So that's why, you know,
Understood.
like certain people call me Nicholas and I have no problem. My grandma, and you know,
Mhm.
she can call me whatever she wants to. But you know, anyway,
So that's
Maya, you got something we can put up and debate real quick before we get into something serious,
Yeah, let's do this one.
so we can.
Oh, we're
yes,
not doing
yes, yes.
Oh,
I know mine.
First of all, not with the toast being black.
First off,
I think it's
Not
gross.
with the toast being black.
Right.
Middle row.
So,
It's
Now,
like the
now when
emoji,
you
like,
grew up and you didn't have that much, if you blackened your toast, you had to scrape it off. Get nice and scrape off the black part. You never had to do that before?
Right.
You weren't throwing that bread away. You had to scrape the black off the bread.
that's what Celie did in Color Purple when Mr. Burke.
Yeah, you had to scrape. No, Kevin Stu was eating croissants and stuff, so he
Never scraping. No, I was never doing that.
you would just start over.
I'm not even. My appetite is gone.
I know what I'm choosing for a steak. It's
I know
either
what
2
mine
or
is.
3.
Yeah, correct. That's correct.
Because you know.
I'm mad she
anything-
said that's correct.
Thank you. No, any 5 is like chewing rubber. 4
Correct.
is like chewing rubber. You need
Number
that,
1 is too bloody.
You need that medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like a number 3 with toast. And as I get older, I am A. You can give me black coffee all day long, and I'm good now. Some of y'all don't drink coffee. Y'all drink cream with a little bit of coffee in it.
Yep, that's me.
Ooh.
I drink tea, so I don't have the coffee to be.
Let's get Maya out the way because we know she's gonna pick 5.
Whatever.
6 because she like burnt hot dogs.
So I'm
And,
probably a 3 or 4 for the steak when I eat steak. 5 for toast, and between
A
a
5.
Jesus.
What is up with you with this
C
burnt
or
stuff?
D.
Oh, 5
in your
for
coffee.
toast.
A C or D for the coffee. So you like the light skin coffee. I got you.
Yep.
Why I had to be light skinned?
I'm sorry, Kevin. It wasn't towards you.
You know, somehow I knew this conversation was going to return to color.
So I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna get out the way. I haven't had steak in years, so I wouldn't know what to choose. If I had to, it'd be between 3 and 4. For the middle row, be 3 and 4 as well. And you know what? I don't drink coffee. I only drink iced tea. So let's go
This
with
is true.
C and D.
This is true. You only drink
Because
tea.
I'm not doing straight coffee like A coffee.
I'm straight down the middle. 3-3-C.
Nice.
3 C.
Damn,
That sounds like you're calling
so
out
consistent. Right.
3 C.
There you go.
Go ahead, Ash.
I
You
am.
can judge her. Yes.
Go ahead and judge me. I am 4 between 3 for. I'm 4 for the steak for sure. 3 and 4 for the bread, and then if it's a day that I'm not having to pull an all-night studier, it's C. But if it's all night where I gotta study, it's A.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right.
B is the most I can go with coffee, but usually I'm A. Yeah. A or B. Yep.
I'm number 3 for the steak, 3 for the toast, and B for the coffee.
Nobody's picked well done. I'm so happy for you all. Praise
Yeah, I
God.
can't do it. It's gross.
I'm so happy.
It's
Thank
gross.
God for you.
Steak be hard like a rock. Mm-mm.
You gotta
Look at that,
say
Desiree.
the choices.
Yeah, I'm 2, 3, 3, 4, and then my T is usually around C or D. So yeah.
I am proud of us today. We picked some good stuff.
We're on one accord.
We don't want to go for the first time.
For once in our lives.
Once in our lives.
Yes.
Praise God.
Finally, it took us about a year to get this.
Right. First, we kind of had some unison agreement on something.
The growth.
We
The
don't have
growth.
to remove
Call that
anything.
growth. Right.
The growth.
We gotta talk at this. Go ahead.
After, right. So anyway, this month we know we're going into the holidays. It's Thanksgiving. You can start listening to the Christmas music right now. Praise God.
Good morning.
Yes,
On what channel?
I'm already ready.
Is it on like mainstream radio?
No, I'm talking about in our own in the car. You can turn the Christmas
Oh,
music
mine's talking
on.
about mainstream.
Well, Main Street doesn't start playing until after Thanksgiving. But
After
for me,
Thanksgiving,
as
yeah.
for me in my house, we play Christmas music
That's a-
earlier than December.
We're not allowed to play Christmas music in my house until December 1st.
Well, that's why you play in the car. Put your earphones on or something.
I'm okay with it. I worked retail for majority of my life. I'm okay waiting until December for Christmas because they start playing Christmas music in October.
July.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
Praise
no,
God.
I'm okay.
But anyway, so we really want to get on a discussion about mental health because during this time, mental health is a big issue, especially. And one thing I am glad about with like millennials and Gen Z is the drive to normalize mental health help. That's something that Gen X boomers didn't really put out there in the forefront to make people feel comfortable. So you saw your grandmom or your grandfather dealing with depression or anger or anxiety or da-da-da. And, you know, back then it was just pray it away. Just don't worry about it. You know, we all knew the uncle was a little weird. Nobody, you know, don't say nothing, you know, just leave him alone or just stay special. But I think I'm enjoying how this group now is coming up saying, yo, especially in the Black community, because in our community, you know, it was never don't go to counseling, keep everything in the house, keep it private, don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
In other communities, they'll walk out and tell you, yeah, I'm going to see my therapist tomorrow. Us, it's like, we don't say nothing because you don't want to look crazy, not realizing that you're going to therapy so you won't go crazy.
Right.
You know,
That part.
But mental health issues are real. And every generation deals with something different than the previous generation. You know, we came from the civil rights generation, the 60s, 70s, 80s. You had the crack boom and all that stuff like that in the Black community. In the 90s, we had to start worrying about, in the 2000s, you're worried about whether you're going to get shot at school. And, you know, it's a whole different reality. With social media on the rise and the more tech comes up, the more they've already done studies on it already. Yeah. How technology and social media is negatively impacting our mental and our emotional health. And the more tech we go, the more convenient life is, but the more we're going to see mental and emotional issues going up. The less interpersonal we become, and the more we rely on technology, the worse it's going to be for us as people. So we got to move beyond being able to text somebody for 2 hours, but can't talk to them in person because we don't have interpersonal relationships. But that's just my thought to throw it out there, and y'all can just take it and run with it. But I believe that it's okay to have Jesus, have therapy, have Jesus, have counsel, have Jesus, and understand that, watch this, even the one that wrote Don't Pray and Worry, Be Careful for Nothing, Stop Being Anxious, admits that he struggles with anxiety. Paul admits in the book Corinthians, he struggles with anxiety. He has bouts of it. He has moments of it. So I don't think we can take that, a hard case on some things when the Bible is very clear that there are people that God uses that they still struggle with depression, they can struggle with anxiety, and etc. So kind of let's talk through that, and share how y'all feel. And, that's just my introduction spiel on that topic.
I think, like you said, I agree that more than ever, we have kind of normalized it. I know in some cases it is abused, where people claim everything on mental health rather than taking ownership and accountability for what you are doing in your behaviors. But, it is, I think it's very, very important, especially in the church community, that we really understand that things happen. And just as your heart gets broken, your mind can be battered and go through its transitions as well. And we have to take the time to really do it. You know, one thing that I started listening to Dr. Anita Phillips, and she talked about spiritual bypassing, where we go straight to the deep side of things rather than dealing with, why am I angry? Why am I sad? Why am I depressed? This hurt me. Let's deal with it. Instead of saying, oh, gotta provide. He's a healer. He's a keeper. Yes, these things are true, but deal with your issues and deal with it with him. And also, if you need to take it a step further, go to counseling, talk to your pastor, whatever you need to do to kind of get that through through your through your atmosphere, so it can work out for you, because it's real. You know, and I'm seeing it now that I'm in the school system, younger and younger. You know, there's kindergartners who are having issues because daddy's not there. There are first graders and fourth graders. One fourth grader told me, he said, I hate myself because my dad doesn't love me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. So these things are crucial, you know, in today's society.
Yeah. I think you're right. A lot of people, especially saints, instead of getting healed, we get spiritual.
Oh, Lord.
And then we wonder why we're still, dysfunctional. We're praising over stuff, worshiping over stuff, and not actually dealing with some things. I hate to break it to you. It's cliche-ish, but praise is not the healing or answer for everything. Worship is not the answer to everything. It's just not, not for every single thing. But I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. Somebody else can jump in.
I mean, to piggyback off of what Pastor Nick was saying, one of my friend's moms, she is super big on self-care. She has her own wellness brand that she runs called Waiting. Not what I was getting ready to say, Waiting to Exhale. It's okay to exhale. And it's all about focusing on just taking the time to really take care of yourself. Like, as a Christian, to say, yes, I love God, I praise God, but when things get tough, and I do pray, but what do I do in the moment when the prayer doesn't immediately gratify what I'm thinking or how I'm feeling? What do I do then? And she would always say, just breathe. But biblically speaking, she said, God came up with self-care first. She said in the book of Genesis, on the seventh day, God rested. So if God rested on the seventh day, if he found time in all that he had to do in the creation of the earth, heavens, earth, everything else, he still took time out to rest. Everything that he was doing, rest his mind, his spirit, all of that. Then why can't we do the same thing? And he is God. So that resonated with me for everything, because I'm like a Energizer bunny. I keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And sometimes you don't realize when you run like a hamster wheel how it affects you physically, emotionally, spiritually. And the first thing somebody will say, oh, if you're having a bad day, pray about it. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Okay, so then what do I do when it's not okay? What do I do if my day doesn't turn out great? And I think it's so important as a faith-based community to start to focus on that more. And I'm glad that Gen Z is bringing it up, because I know younger kids that have jobs, they are quick to leave a job. They will say, if this is affecting my mental health, if this person is affecting my spirit in a negative way, I do not need to be here. I don't need to put myself through this just because I feel like I need a job or a paycheck. I can get a job somewhere else that is a healthy environment, where some of us in older generations would just, you know what, that person's crazy. I'm not going to let this person affect my day, and keep working, even though that person really is affecting your spirit over time. So I think there's pros and cons to it.
There is.
But I'm glad that it's being more widely accepted that therapy is an okay thing.
Yeah. There is, because I think some part of this generation, they take, like Antoine said, they take it a little too far. Everything triggers them. Everything needs a safe space. I don't like this job. I'm quitting and don't work nowhere. Like you said, find another job. If that job is that toxic, get another job. But some people take the mental health thing a little too far, because life is going to come with a battle. And part of me thinks we didn't prepare this generation for the fights when they become adults. So they're quick to leave something and there's no commitment there. But anyway, so we can talk about that later. But Desiree, I kind of want you to jump in on this with physicality, especially like you do yoga and how people eat affects their moods and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I wanted to comment on what you guys said real quick first, because like I just found out that like my grandma, like I didn't realize that, like, because we're focusing on like Gen Z and how they're, you know, how it's becoming more prominent for their generation. But I think that even in the older generations, they're starting to see like that they need help, or that they need to work through their own things too. Because I had a very intimate conversation with my mom and my grandmother, and I found out that my grandma had, you know, been through her own mental health journey and everything, you know. And so I was just like, oh wow, I had no idea that this was something that you were, you know, okay with, you know, or that you accepted because it was taboo, you know. So I think because the older generation is so secretive sometimes, like we put everything, like how Pastor Nick, you said in the beginning, like we put everything out there all the time. Like that's just what our generation is. But who's to say that the generations of the past weren't doing the work? They just were doing it privately. You know what I mean? So
well,
like
some were doing it privately.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like to I think to discount all of them, or just to discount a generation and say like, oh, we're the ones moving it forward. It's like, no, we had to get our healing techniques from somewhere. You know, we had to, at least I know for me, like the things that I do for self-care, they've come from my grandma, from my nana, and, you know, the things that kind of center me and ground me, I've learned from the people who have gone on, you know. But as far as with what you eat definitely affects your mental health. Movement in your body where like things get trapped. There's a few books. It's a book called The Body Keeps Score, and a book called, what's the other book? There's like 3 different books, and I forget. The main one is The Body Keeps Score, but it's where like if you don't move your body, like if you just sit and allow your tension, allow your stressors, allow those things to just sit in your body, they'll store in your hips, they'll store in your neck, they're storing your shoulders. So you'll find a lot of times people are like crunched up right in here, or like can't really loosen up in their hips because that's where they're holding all of their stress, all of their traumas. So through body work, through breath work, like yoga or yoga, meditation, Pilates, different things like that, that kind of move the body gently. So that's a way to kind of relieve that anxiety, relieve that stress. And when it comes to eating, a lot of things can not only inflame the body, like in like the nervous, in the actual like gut and things like that, but also in the nervous system. So if you're eating a lot of foods that are high acid, things that are highly processed, things that aren't nutrient dense, they're gonna have a negative effect on your body, and you're not gonna get what you need. So your body's not. It's gonna go into like this mode of like trying to survive off of that bare minimum. So you need to, you know, I'm always telling people to drink water, and I always tell y'all to drink water. And not even trying to be funny, but like it really is a source, you know. It really is a key source of a lot of things. Like if you're not feeling well, if you are tired, if you're tired, if you feel stressed, if you like, sometimes you just need to drink some water, you know. So yeah. Are y'all making fun of my mic?
Yes, we're gonna meet you real quick.
It's
No,
because I'm on my computer.
It's
I
fine.
don't have my headphones. I just
it's fine. We heard you. We heard you though. It's fine. But yeah, I don't want to make a gross generalization about the previous past. I'm talking about when I say I'm talking about normalizing it, where people feel like, you know how this generation was talking about somebody setting the example for other people. So some generations will keep something private, and then another group will be raised by that group and will say, well, they never did nothing about it, even though they were doing it privately, to give us the go ahead to do it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we've had a lot of people. So I'm trying to, from that framework of, you know, understanding that principle. Go ahead, Shakira.
I think, okay. I think is a mixture. It's a mixture of both. because you can't sort of you only can work with the tools that you have. So a lot of our grandparents, great grandparents, even parents to a certain extent, all they knew was just take it to the altar.
Yep.
And not for nothing, the altar works. Like it is effective. Prayer is effective.
Absolutely.
But we forget that when we're instructed to renew our minds, that's not just spiritual application. That is, renewing my mind means that I need to first of all understand how my mind works. You know what I mean? I need to counseling. Proverbs is full of wisdom and a great multitude of counselors. We always take that as spiritual, our pastors, our ministers. Counseling is counseling. Like your therapist is a great multitude. You know what I mean? Like you are, oh, hold on, y'all.
I love it. I love it.
Laughter is absolute medicine. Laughter is medicine too.
It was coming.
She's
too.
like,
She knew it.
She said,
hold on.
Laughter is absolute
Commercial
medicine.
break.
Why do you think we laugh so much on here? This is our therapy too, right? We come on here and laugh at each other.
Now, you know I love to laugh.
Yes, because Kevin, your laughter is hysterical.
We joke with each other. We have fun with each other, and that's a form of therapy, also, right?
Yeah.
We get there together. We have fun.
Something I do want to say that
Did the ambulance go by?
Because I was like, is everything good? But something that Deacon did bring up, especially with the younger generation, like you said, Pastor, I am very happy that it's becoming more present, and it's like anxiety and all that mental health is becoming something that you see on TV shows, talked about on talk shows and stuff like that, because it is something real. I don't know about you guys, but the older that I get, the more that I find out about like past history and the family,
Yes,
I just be like, now I see why X, Y, and Z and why this is happening. And that's why I always say to people that I know that are young parents that, be aware of what, you are feeding your children, not kids, excuse me, your children, because you may not think they are not listening or they don't hear it, but going down a line, in long term, that may affect them. And I'm just seeing that within my family as well. So, being able to be in the generation where we are addressing those mental issues and, addressing anxiety and stuff like that, and really presenting it and making sure that, those that are dealing with that, they're getting the help, but also, like you said, making sure that we also address those that are abusing it as well. Because, I feel like I'll say for myself, throughout this time, I think being shut in really showed me that I do have, a slight bit of anxiety, a slight bit of depression here and there and stuff like that. But like, being shut in, it taught me how to work through it. I personally didn't go to counseling. It is something that I do want to do, because I feel like I haven't worked out all my issues yet. But being shut in and being able to, work through those things with, prayer and everything has really helped me. And I'm just thankful that, it is becoming something that is present more on TV shows and stuff like that, and not nonsense. And I'm glad that it's not being pushed under the rug like it was in the past, with past generations.
Kev, I think you just said
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Shakira.
Thank you all for your patience.
That was
no,
hilarious.
I live literally around the corner from the fire station, so it's like, Anywho, I really and Kevin, that is awesome. That's awesome, because the pandemic truly brought a lot of those things to the surface for a lot of people. And I know for me personally, last year for my birthday, the only thing I wanted to do for my birthday was start therapy. I was like, if I don't do anything else for this next year of life, I am going to therapy. And it was literally the best decision I've ever made. so much of my behavior and my responses to things, the way I react to things, makes perfect sense now. And you'll start to see that line of thinking in your family members. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's not for you to, it's not for you to be, pointing out people in your family at the cookout, like, oh, you need therapy.
Right.
Oh, you need like you projecting, because I feel like one of the things I don't like about us normalizing therapy is that everybody is using like these buzzwords.
Yeah.
And they're not trained professionals. So you're not using the words properly. You're misdiagnosing stuff.
Right.
And, you'll have people just follow nothing but therapists and think that that's equivalent to sessions. And it's like, no, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you triggered. And it's like, what does it mean? What does trigger mean? Like, what's a trigger? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Everything is, we're just using these words like, oh, that's enmeshment. And it's like, girl,
enmeshment.
Who taught you this? Like,
that's a new one.
Where did you get your degree from? So I think we have to use it wisely, because everyone is a armchair therapist now.
Well, social media makes everybody's a personal trainer, a life coach,
a model,
a counselor, a model,
a mentor.
Yep.
On social media, mentor, you
somebody.
could be anything. Just put a whole bunch of quotes out there. You don't have to actually be educated in that field. Just make some videos and sound good, and you're a relationship guru. You
love those people on social media, and you see them in person, they can't say 2 words, but we're gonna move past that.
I will say, with Kev, like, because you're such a light and so full of light all the time, I think you're so dramatic. No, I think what's so beautiful is that you said that you have struggled with depression and anxiety, because a lot of times people think that when they see people who are so joyous and so full, and it's hard to believe that those people have struggles, and yeah. So I commend you for even saying that and speaking that, because that is such a vulnerable thing, because people tend to think like, oh, what do you have to be upset about? Or why would you be depressed? Or whatever. But it's like, no, you don't know what goes on in my day-to-day. You don't know my life, my background, whatever is going on, So I think that it is a very beautiful thing when you get to see people who have it all together, still have moments of humanity that's like, no, I'm not happy all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why I always say, like every year when I have like new students that come in, like I always say, I always try to get to know them, because you never know what they have going on. Especially nowadays, there's so many broken homes, and it's sad, and it really affects a person's success. And it just shows you how, I always say, when the school and the home can work together to help the student, that's what helps them be successful. But when you have a school that's the school, the home, and all of the above, and they don't get that when they leave, it's it's a lot. So I try to be that, and like I always try to put a smile on and stuff like that. But Kev has his moments, but through that, continue to be taught and stuff like that. But yeah, I am looking to, going into, that's one of the things I want to do going into this new year, to start that, because I know there's things that about myself that I need answers to, or like Shakira said, how to work that mind, or when you have those thoughts and stuff like that. So it is, it's true.
I think that as we move this discussion further, is knowing what's the condition, what's clinical versus what's just a season. Like there's a difference between somebody being depressed momentarily versus this is something that's clinical. There are 2 completely different things. You got the group that wants to bring everything clinical, you need to be on meds, complete counseling session, just, versus you just having a moment, and some people think, well, you're just having a moment, you'll be okay, when they actually need more. That's why I think it's important to go outside of yourself, talk to somebody, figure out how to deal with and what you're dealing with. Because there's a lot of people that can deal with low-level forms of depression. You're still functioning, you're still working, you laugh, you joke, but there's this low-level sadness in you. That when you get by yourself, you kind of
Yep.
You feel it,
I feel
you
like
know?
that's like the worst too. Like,
Yeah.
because you're just carrying it instead of like addressing it and treating it. I think that's the worst because you're just carrying it. It's like it's just adding on more and more. You know, like you said, Pastor Nick, like when you get home by yourself and you're in your own thoughts. Like it's, I feel like that's the worst when you just carry it and not address it.
Yeah.
Especially when other people kind of speak for you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like for me, I know, and this is, I don't know if this is like, well, it's safe space. We'll say it's a safe
Remember,
space.
it is public space too, though. Just FYI.
Well, no, I'm never going to say anything.
Okay, all right, okay. I was making sure. Okay,
you already know, like
all right.
what I talk about anyway on social media. So
yeah, okay.
But like I just know for me personally, after having the baby, he's one, so you're expected, FYI, as a new mother, you already know there's the potential for like some baby blues, some sadness in your postpartum journey. But for me, I think it took a lot of self-awareness to know, okay, this is not a season. Like this is this is dragging out. Like, you know, he about to, you know, be rolling over at this point. Like, okay, this is turning. It went from 2 weeks to 4 weeks to 2 months to then it was like, all right, I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody. And the issue that I had that I realized so many other mothers have is that it's so minimized. It's like, oh girl, yeah, we all deal with it. Just, you know, just do this, do that, just go back to work and try. And I'm like, oh, so everybody just walking around high functioning anxiety, like just like, oh, okay, like I got benefits, like let me use my benefits. And going to therapy was the best thing I could have ever done because it ended up being clinical. You know what I mean? It ended up being that serious to where I had to now start educating family members. And then you run into the aunts and grandmas and different ones pull you aside like, I never got help. I'm so glad you actually spoke up. And it's like, yo, that's become a passion of mine now. That's like changed everything I speak about, my content, all of that, because I realized for Black women, first of all, doctors are to Black women what police are to Black men.
Absolutely.
So they do not listen to us.
Oh, recording. Oh my God.
They do not listen to us.
Wow.
When it comes to pain, mental pain, physical pain, emotional pain.
That's a bar, yo.
That is a line.
It is a lot because, you know, I've been in a hospital in pain, asking for assistance, asking for more medication. And if I was someone else, it'd have been like, oh, you know, I could just turn the tears on. And it's like, oh, let me get you this. Let me fluff your pillow. And we are always expected to be strong. And that strong Black woman label is such a burden for us because it takes away your ability to be even in biblically, it's like I can't be a weaker vessel if I'm always trying to be, you know, superwoman. So it was like, who takes care of Superwoman? If Superwoman is taking care of everybody else.
Okay.
So this, even more than just the therapy and the sessions and the, you know, the medication, praise God, it's allowed me to just practice a higher level of self-care. And now I'm a better mother because of it.
Amen.
Because when we don't prioritize mom, the kids suffer. You know what I mean? That's the worst thing in the world, to be healing from having a baby. And it's like, oh, is he sleeping yet? How about, am I sleeping? Like, am I sleeping? Like, is he eating? Am I eating? Like, so I'm passionate about that now.
When you have kids, nobody cares about the parent.
No, they don't. And it's a very
care.
shocking thing to go, especially when you're pregnant, you have strangers giving up their seats. After they get here, it's like, oh, where the baby at? Like, push you out the way. Like,
wow.
And many women just suffer in silence. And it's just one small segment of society that is overlooked. So I'm passionate about that.
It is ridiculous.
But that was awesome. That's awesome that we have people like Shakira that is standing up in the community for that, because like she just educated me, because I would have never even thought of it like that, like for African American women. So I commend you. That's awesome.
Can we go back to the bar though?
Yeah, that was.
Can we go back to the bar though?
That needs to be on t-shirts. Like
Doctors are to black women what police are to black men. Ma'am. Let people know, because that is the reality of that, the depth of that. My God,
you hear a lot of stories like
don't
that.
put it on a t-shirt. Don't put it on a t-shirt. Let the people know. Well, yes, that's what I mean. Put it on a t-shirt. Yes.
And to piggyback off of what Shakira said, to just on top of the lack of attention that you might get when needing medication, in some instances you get too much of it, and some of the side effects of it will cause you to slip and fall into a depression, or fall into anxiety, of which I personally had to deal with. I had a very traumatic experience happen to me back in June, that almost took me out of here, but God, okay? And me having to be in a situation where I had to advocate for myself in a hospital alone because it was COVID, and I couldn't have someone in there with me to speak for me, and being doped up on medication post-operation and asking for things, and then you're giving me things that I'm not asking for, but I'm not privy to it because I'm under the influence technically, and then realizing for a longer period of time I was on medication for hormones. However, I was like, I don't feel like myself. I'm normally a bubbly, happy person most of the time, unless somebody makes me angry. But most of the time, I'm a happy person. And the only thing that changed in my routine were the meds that I was taking every day. So I started to look up side effects myself, because I was told, oh, no, this is just going to take care of what you need and you'll be fine. But knowing that how I felt, waking up in the morning and just crying for no reason, and you start your day like that, you're like, something's not right. Nobody's bothered me. I'm not in any pain currently. Nobody said anything to me in a rude manner. Why do I feel so dark and heavy, and I feel like this cloud? It's a weird feeling when you wake up and you feel like you wake up in darkness, when we naturally wake up to a sunny day outside when you open up your window, right? And finding out that side effects of the medicine I was taking, chronic depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all different types of things. And so I then had to say, I need you to take me off this medication and we need to find something else. But had I not done my due diligence, where I could be right now is not right here. So, Shakira, when I say you are allowed in my life, you are allowed in my life. And I think it's so important in terms of anxiety, stress, depression, for us to also be self-aware, because sometimes we're not. Sometimes you get so thick into what you're doing and what you're being a part of that you don't take the time to say, wait a minute, I don't think I'm being like myself. It becomes a norm, and then you start to believe it. And if somebody's not there to say, hey, you feeling okay? Or, hey, you haven't been like yourself lately. What do you do when you're in a room by yourself and you have to get yourself back together? When does that self-awareness kick back in? So just, yes, all of it.
Maya, you've been quiet this whole time. You have anything you want to share? I saw you come
I
off
was
mute a couple times.
the great conversation. Something that Shakira said that made me think back to the older generations, like we were talking about, was how people speak for you and how everyone's going through it, so you don't feel like you need to say anything. Back in the day, during the civil rights era and before, everyone was in the same situation, and it was just so much, right? And what did we say? keep your head down, don't say nothing, don't garner attention, you know. And then the same thing, you have to work 10 times harder. You don't want to come off as being weak. So I think all of those different mindsets all make it a little bit harder to acknowledge that mental illness, you know, is an issue. It's not just because everyone's going through it that makes it okay for me.
Yeah, we kind of went heavy today, y'all.
This wasn't the topic either that we were supposed to talk about.
I know, right? But I mean, it all, I think, plays in.
Yeah.
Because you have the pandemic just made things heavier for people.
It made people face themselves.
Yeah, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have all the luxury of going out, doing all the stuff that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you actually had to deal with you and the stress of everything that was just going on politically at the time, socially at the time.
Yeah.
The virus was, was running. The politicization of the virus to me was absolutely demonic from the beginning. But it made people face themselves.
Yeah.
And, the stress of just the season can become overwhelming after a while.
Yeah, yeah.
It can wear you down. And the thing that we all kind of are hinting around is we were all learned and we all were trained. No matter how you feel, just keep pressing. Just keep pushing. Just keep going. That's all basically what we're saying, because that's all we know how to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sad. Yeah, I may be a little anxious, but I still got to go do this, right? Mm-hmm. And that can be good and bad. Good in the sense that we don't let the thing stop us from doing what we got to do, because you still got to take care of yourself, life, and all that stuff, especially if you got responsibilities. Yeah. Bad in the sense that you mask those feelings by being busy. Instead of stopping, kind of something you referred to in the beginning, Ashley, was learning how to rest. Yeah. God didn't need to rest, but because he's not a human being, he's not tired, but he chose to show us a principle that rest is a part of this thing. And that, like the other day, I overslept by an hour, and I can't tell you how good I felt.
I know that.
I was like, I needed this hour. I didn't realize how much I needed it until it actually happened. My whole mood was different. I was like,
body tells you, man.
My body was like, bruh, thank you. Like, it just, but a lot of us, we're functioning with some issues. And if we don't work them out while we're functioning, if we're not working them out while we're taking care of kids, working them out while we're doing stuff and so on, so it'll take a hold on us and we'll be stuck in trouble. So, but when you're raising that generation of keep pressing, keep pushing, ain't gonna stop nothing, which is good. I'm not saying that's not bad. It is good. It's just knowing how to do that while healing at the same time.
Right. Finding that balance.
Finding that balance, yeah. Because you still gotta go to work. You still gotta take care of kids. You got them, but you gotta be able to work those things.
Absolutely.
And you can't help yourself by yourself all the time.
Yeah.
I've learned to be a great self-talker and identify stuff, but then I need other people to come in and help me, give me some solutions. Because I don't know about y'all, it's easier for me to hear God for other people than it is for me to hear God for myself. And that's why God gives you leadership, wise counsel, and people to help you navigate the situation. So
yeah.
Yo, we've been talking for like 15 minutes. So maybe we can do part 2 next month in December. If that's okay with y'all.
Yeah, that's cool.
That works for me.
If everybody
relevant topics, especially during this time, it gets dark earlier.
The holidays in general.
Holidays may be hard for some people. That lost someone, so it's definitely a relevant topic. So
in the middle of all the celebrations, a lot of grief.
This is going to be the first holiday without that loved one. You know what I mean? Especially with all the COVID deaths, like is a different kind of holiday season.
Yeah.
Can we also have people that are watching like submit questions like around the topic for next month too for us to address as well? Like send them to Fr3sh or social.
Yeah.
Kev, you know how to do that. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, sir. You got it. You got it.
No, you just did it.
Send them in the word again. Say it again.
Social or Fr3sh. Fr3sh's email is fr3sh@gotobethany.com.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure but it's Fr3sh with a 3. So
that's
a 3 for the E.
FR3SH.
Yes.
SH. Yeah.
So
we send it there.
Submit some questions because there may be somebody that is watching that it may be a little too heavy or it may be personal that they don't want to put in the comments, and they want to.
Maybe we can next time we can present some practical ways.
Yeah,
they can do some things at home.
Yeah, we could bring some people along and do some stuff.
Yeah,
bring somebody to help do some stuff. Just those emails, or send them to social, right?
No, they can send it to Fr3sh at gotobethany.com. But another thing that I think is important is to remember that we have a counseling service here at Bethany.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When those emails come in, send them up to us, and we'll.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll do.
Yeah.
So that's Pathways.
Pathway, yes.
Yeah. So do you want to share a little bit more about Pathways?
Pathway Counseling is our counseling program. Part of our CDs and Generations Inc. is a part of what we do here. Pathway Service. My wife actually runs it. It's going great. And if you need counseling, you can reach out and they'll take care of you. But we think about doing some group stuff for the holidays. Like, people who are dealing with grief during the holidays, do like group session. The holidays are going to be hard. Like we're still not doing a big family gathering for Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because even though the numbers are declining, they're still high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're still high. So we're being a little more cautious this year. Still like last year, just in case. Because I know folk that are getting COVID for the first time now that haven't gotten it at all this whole entire time. So I think we all need to still be a little cautious. I'm not telling people what to do with their holidays, but still play it safe. Be cautious, because you don't always know where people are going and what they're doing with their lives. So, you still got to be careful.
Yeah.
I know the world is trying to open everything up, act like it's over, but it's not over. It's not over.
And also check on those that are by themselves.
Yeah.
That are not joining, that are also just check on them.
Yeah, check on people. Yeah. Like I'm doing like a little visit. Hey, what's up? But not a lot of people. No. I go see my look. I got an 85-year-old grandma to think of. And I go see her. And I gotta be careful what I do with my life and who I'm around, because I don't want to bring nothing to her. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I gotta think about that. Mom is 64 or 63, one of them. I be forgetting. I don't remember how old I am sometimes.
Well, because you are, turning a big age this month. So
40. Did y'all see my dad shoes? I'm gonna get some dad shoes, and
you better not.
The New Balances took me out.
Hold on, before anyone says anything, if you walk anywhere near me with those shoes, just no.
Like look at the white, Jerome.
Listen,
look at the white shoes. Look at the white shoes.
Just know we're gonna have jokes for days, sir.
I would welcome the jokes. I'll be cool.
This is the only reason why we get along. It's because you were born in November.
Hey, November babies are the birthday. What day's your birthday on?
The 18th.
Well, happy early birthday.
That's
my cousin's birthday is on the 18th too. My cousin.
Yes, happy birthday, Shakira.
In my family, I think there are 12 of us. Just in my close family, 12 of us are born in November.
Absolutely not. It wouldn't be able to happen in my family.
Yeah, it's like 5 of us.
One big party.
My grandma was like, "Look, here's a cake for all y'all. It's too many.
That's it.
We have one cake and sing happy birthday to everybody."
That is
it. Y'all not even getting your hands on that cake. Y'all even might get
an initial.
My brother and my cousin were born on the same day on the 15th.
Wow.
2 different hospitals, same day, same age. Wow. My cousin the 17th. I got come on the 3rd.
Oh, they're cousin twins.
8th. They're cousin twins, yeah. One was born in the morning, one was midnight. I'm the 28th, and my uncle's 29th. It's a whole lot of us.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well,
but anyway.
I don't know. They all shady. Every November person I know is shady. So
facts. My father is a November baby. That's probably why Pastor Nick make fun of me so much.
I'm sorry. Are you shady too, Shakira?
I said we all shady. Like I don't have no problem admitting it. Like
you got something for us, Maya, before we leave. We've been very civil to each other today. Is there anything that can
I feel like
see, Pastor Nick, this is where we think of because we were doing kumbaya and on like a you
gotta throw some rocks in here.
You gotta do something.
I don't even want to answer this because I feel like I'm gonna get attacked like I did last time.
Sure.
If you
You
say
are-
I don't
1,
like
6,
none of these.
7,
Look.
you're trash.
Look,
Pastor
you
Nick,
didn't
let the
eat these
games
as a kid.
begin. Let the games begin.
But
Let's do it.
Ugh.
Pastor Nicholas, you go
Look,
first.
look. Out of all these, my favorite is that darn number 2 Swiss roll. Them Swiss rolls, I would
Ew.
tear
Talk
them
about
things up.
Talk about.
Now,
Hmm.
the
Who was screaming like that?
oatmeal pie is good too.
Desiree.
That's such a dad flavor. Oatmeal,
Oatmeal?
anything is such
Yep.
a dad
Oatmeal
flavor.
raisin cookies are the best
oatmeal
cookies.
raisin is the best cookie.
No.
Thank you,
don't
Kevin.
do that.
Oatmeal
That's
raisin cookies are
hard.
the best cookies.
That
We
is
gotta
such a
pray.
dad
Especially when
flavor.
they come out the
Come
oven,
on, y'all,
do
let's
not
pray.
play.
Thank you. Nice and warm.
Y'all
Do
need
not
deliverance.
play. Go.
And the hard part is between number 6 and number 8. I love Star Crunches are good, but I love me some honey buns, yo.
Star
Heat them
Crunches,
honey buns up.
bro.
All right, I'm gonna go with 2, 4. Yeah, I love them Star Crunches though. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go 2, 6, and 8.
Ew.
Pastor Nick
6
sitting
and 8.
out.
2, 6,
Yeah,
and
I
8.
thought I was on the
I
same
like the
page
oatmeal
with
raisin.
that.
I like the oatmeal pies, but those 3 as a kid, I would eat those all the time.
Oh, Lord mercy.
All right, Maya.
Her, right. Look, thank you, Desiree. Like, let's get her out the way. She probably like
Mine would be-
Twinkies.
No. I was just trying to get
Twinkies.
this
No,
off.
Twinkies are
Zebra
gross.
cakes.
Thank you.
Wait, what's gross?
Twinkies.
Agreed.
I like Yodels, number 2. I like
Yodels?
number 7. And that's about it. If I had to pick one more, it would be number 3, even though I think they're not that good.
So Maya, you like the Yodel version. You don't like the Swiss Miss.
It's
I
a
never had Swiss Miss. I just had Yodels.
Jesus, the Smith.
It's a
okay.
Swiss roll.
It's a, yeah, I was gonna say not Swiss Miss is hot chocolate. What?
Yeah, it's
That's a drink.
It's a
All right,
Swiss
wait a minute.
roll.
Now they have a Swiss Miss version, yeah.
Hey,
It's
thank
in a
you. That's
blue
what I'm
box.
saying. Yeah.
It's like in a light blue box or something like that. Yeah.
Mercy.
They got it.
No.
gotta pray
Well,
for
that's why I know that I'm fat on the inside. Okay.
So
Moving on.
we're gonna go
No,
with
sorry, Little Debbie, the Little Debbie version, Swiss roll.
Yes.
It's a Swiss roll. That's what it is.
Little Debbie Swiss rolls. All right, here.
Yes, because the
I
yodel.
mean,
I don't know
now,
what
but
that
talking
is.
about number 2.
Give me-
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
So we're gonna go with number 4.
Amen.
We're gonna go with number 7, and we're gonna go with number 8. Yes.
There you go.
That's solid.
That's-
I can get that.
that's
That's solid.
good.
I can get down with that.
Come on now. Come on.
What is number 9?
Is
It's a
that
Nutter
Reese
Butter.
thing?
Isn't that
That's
a
that
Nutter
peanut
Butter?
butter?
No, that's not a Nutter Butter. That is a. It looks well. I mean, it's some
It's
type
like a
of wafer
crisp
bar.
It's a crisp cookie
No,
with
it's a
chocolate.
nutty
It's
buddy.
a
It's a nutty
wafer?
buddy.
Oh,
It looks like a wafer bar, like a chocolate wafer bar.
It's a nutty buddy. It's Little
No,
Debbie nutty
man,
buddy.
no.
Yes.
throw the whole picture away. This
I don't
one-
know what it
Brownies,
is, so I'm not choosing it.
Here, you're not choosing anything.
You don't like brownies?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's 9, and I literally would only eat 3. Y'all talking about keep 3. It's only 3 edible options on here.
Thank you.
Like,
You don't like honey buns? Honey
um,
buns are good.
all right, 3, 4, and 8. That's it. I hate cake, so I'm like, I would not have 7. Definitely wouldn't have.
You don't
1.
like cake?
I like carrot cake.
Yeah,
Well,
go
that's
in on
good.
Shakira like y'all went on me.
Look, but wait a minute. I
I eat cake.
won't go in with her because carrot cake is my favorite cake. But you don't like
I don't know.
pineapple upside down cake
I
or
don't know how I feel.
That's
You don't like
gross.
ice cream cake.
We cut a cake at the wedding just for the picture.
how don't you like cake?
Not red
Like,
velvet. Not like
We
not
had
like-
apple pie for our.
No, how don't you like
dessert.
cake though?
It's nasty. I did have a pound cake that was okay, like a plain.
But what is it about cake that you don't like?
I'm trying to figure this out.
right.
And then
The
the icing
texture?
is always nasty.
Do you like pancakes?
Yeah,
You know what?
She don't like
you,
it.
No.
you're blowing.
Oh,
You're
they
turning
gotta
down.
be
You're
like
turning down.
crispy on the
Oh, you're
the-
Maya. Okay, you like.
Oh, so
crispy.
you have to
I
be
don't like
biased
crispy
category.
pancakes.
Are you from the South?
No, I'm from West Philly.
No, I'm
Yeah,
asking you.
Born and raised.
This is
No,
why it's such a
I only-
disappointment because she's from West Philly, so you would think, you know.
No, I only asked that because my grandma from the South and she used to make crunchy pancakes. That's why I was asking.
What are
Yeah.
crunchy
Crunchy
pancakes?
pancakes.
It's you make it with oil instead of butter and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Ash, go ahead.
I'm still concerned about
Um,
like a cake.
Yeah, me too.
We're here, but we're you know,
Out
got that
2,
bar earlier, so we're gonna let her.
7, and 8. Those are my 3.
That's solid.
2, 7, 8. All right, that's yeah.
Okay.
2, 7, 8 are my 3.
Not too bad. One off. We're good. Go ahead, Deke.
I'm gonna go with 2, 4, and 8.
Okay,
I'm loving all these twos.
2, 4, and 8.
I feel like 2 is so nostalgic.
Yo,
zebra
it is. As a
cake
child,
gross.
yo, you tear them things. Zebra cakes are horrible.
And then it's cream in
Gross.
the middle. Ew.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't. I don't like cream filled things like that.
But you just said you like the oatmeal pies. That's got cream in the middle.
Because it's
No.
like
The
and all
oatmeal
that.
pie
Those
is
in the
fine.
refrigerator though.
Ooh.
So y'all don't like jelly donuts and like,
No,
like
No, I
I
don't
do.
like
no.
Gross. Throw it away.
I can't even say what I was going to say because it wasn't PG. It wasn't PG.
Oh my
but never mind. I just thought about
Okay.
it.
let's move on. Let's move on.
Desiree.
Go ahead, Desiree.
I don't like the fact that y'all calling me Desiree. Is this how you feel, Pastor Nicholas?
Come on,
Your
Des.
name, though?
Des. I'm sorry. Des.
No, seriously. I agree with the same thing as you, Aunt. So 2, 4, and 8.
2, 4, and 8. Thank you, Desiree. That's good. Thank you, Des.
Mm-hmm.
Praise God.
Well,
So
all
nobody likes
off one, but it's good.
So wait a minute. So let's go back to something real quick. This cake, Mike, you can take this out. This cake thing.
I got questions.
I got
I
questions.
gotta figure this out.
I mean,
figure this out.
I mean, like a nice cake, vanilla cake with chocolate icing on top. That is
My
just
God.
like it's.
No.
And you don't like jelly donuts, Kevin? Like seriously?
I don't like them either.
Who like jelly donuts?
I don't like fruit in my cake.
I don't like fruit and chocolate, fruit and cake. Fruit and then dessert. Don't put it together.
Not together.
See, no, I can do that. I can do some chocolate covered strawberries.
But
I don't know
what
where
is
you
it
have
about
FOMO.
cake?
Those I can eat. Yeah, those I like.
Cake
but
is
yeah,
amazing.
Jelly filled donuts. No,
Chocolate covered strawberries are gross.
man.
Do you like chocolate?
I like chocolate, but don't put fruit. Or don't put chocolate on my fruit. Like don't.
Really?
Do that.
Desiree.
Damn.
I can respect it.
That's disgusting.
I can't.
I can respect it.
We gotta pray.
We gotta pray for these people.
We gotta
I
pray
pray
for
for
them.
your stomachs.
Pray for their palates. Pray for their minds.
And you know what's the worst? You know what's the worst when someone brings like a box of donuts. Like majority of them are like the cream filled and jelly. Like I'd be like, ew, disgusting.
Jelly donuts are good.
Give me a regular chocolate
Give me a
glazed
I'm
donut
good.
or a regular
I am
glazed
good with
donut, and I'm
glaze.
good.
I am very basic when it comes to donuts.
Yes,
Do
extremely.
y'all warm your donuts up or eat them like as is?
What
The
kind of
chocolate
Depends
ones
on
I
the
don't
donut.
matter. If it's a glazed donut, I need it hot, fresh, ready when the light come on.
What kind of
I'm
childhood
a
did y'all
Krispy
have? I'm
Kreme.
concerned.
Do you like bacon on your donut?
But
What?
here we go. Here we go.
I
Here
don't
we go.
Yo, it's good.
It's really
I've
good.
never had it, so I can't say yes or no.
There's a place in the Berlin Mark that has like the best donuts, and they have maple bacon donuts with like maple bacon.
You gotta go to
I
the
like
Amish Mart in Williamstown to get them.
Oh, I get
Such
okay.
a
Oh, I get them from the
popular
Amish
thing
Mart. Are they owned by the same people?
I
In
don't know.
Berlin Mark?
I
They're
was going to
Amish
one in
too.
Williamstown.
Because Beliers in Retton Terminal does that.
Yeah.
Yes, I went to Beliers before.
You know what was good?
Cider
though?
donuts are pretty good.
You know what was good? I went to a place. They had a glazed donut as the bun for a burger. It was so.
Oh yeah, it's
good.
called a Luther burger.
It was so good.
Oh.
It was a Krispy
A
Kreme,
heartburn.
a Krispy Kreme
Yeah.
donut.
It's
as
called
the
a Luther
bun.
burger.
Is
Yo.
it like the heart attack?
Yo.
Good Lord.
Son,
That's too much for me.
son,
I don't know. I don't know.
son.
I don't know.
But see, that's different. That's a donut.
Did you have that? Like, how long ago did you have that? Like, was it spread out?
That was years ago when I was younger. I ain't doing that now.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was
I was
gonna
younger.
say.
I was like in my 20s, I think. when I did
Desiree
that.
was about to have an intervention for Pastor Nick.
No, I'm like,
I'm too old to be doing that stuff now. I'm too old to be doing
Like,
that.
he's not
let's
doing that
talk
now.
about this. Like,
I'm too old to be doing that now. But I would try it again though. Maybe like a bite or two. But
I was gonna say like 2 bites in, you'd be like, "Ooh, my heart!" Like, to get it together.
I don't know. Look. I'll be 40 this month, so I'm trying to take care of myself a little better.
40.
He said, "I don't need the hypertension. I know that's
Sorry,
right."
Pastor.
Pastor
They
Nick.
said the 40 is the new 20. You're fine. Go ahead.
No,
And go
I
get it.
believe 40 is 40, 50, 50, 60, 60. I ain't in that whole 40 is a new 20. No, you're 40 years old.
Oh my God.
You could be a young 40 or a young 50 or a young 60, but
Yeah.
you're still 60 years old, okay?
Yeah.
I hear you 70 years old dressing like you 25. Like, come on.
Ooh, now that should be.
Why
a topic
can't you
for
just let
January.
people live? Let
I
people
am letting them live.
Don't, because some people need to know.
He said, "No," because Some people need to know.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
That is unacceptable.
We've been on this thing for over an hour, y'all.
Oh, it was
God
a
bless
good
y'all.
No.
I got something to do. I'm sitting here messing with
Yeah.
y'all. We'll see y'all later. Join us in December. We're gonna pick this up. Mental health stuff. We're gonna try to work on this. The cake, Shakira, the cake.
It
I just
ain't nothing
can't.
to work
That's
on.
pretty bad.
Cake. No, that's bad.
Maya
And when Maya says it's bad, it's bad.
It's bad.
I'm just trying to figure.
You not
He
talking
got the
about
hands.
that.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is about cake. Is it the texture? Is it like what is it about cake that you don't like?
Everything.
She said the texture. Yeah.
Wait. One question. So every birthday, you never had like a cake.
You do
I
ice
get a
cream
carrot
cake?
Okay, did you do ice cream cake?
Oh,
They get me a carrot cake,
but that's cake.
but that's like one type of cake.
Carrot cake has like walnuts and stuff in it. Do you like the carrot cake that has the fillings and stuff in the actual
Yeah,
dough?
like I like that.
Carrot
It just
cake
it tastes
over
different versus just like a regular vanilla cake.
over
with,
strawberry
like,
shortcake. You been to Sweeties?
no,
before?
because the strawberries make it all like
Soggy.
wet in certain
Mhm.
areas.
Strawberry shortcake is good.
You been to Sweeties?
Stuck on the
You ever been to
60-year-olds
Sweeties?
getting
No?
dressed in the
No.
junior section, Kevin. But
Oh.
You back on that again?
Wait, what?
I can't let it go. It's rude. It's very rude of y'all.
you brought it back. It just
Because it was still in my mind. I was just like, wow.
listen. We need to get off this where y'all say something that you're not supposed to say.
Right.
All right, y'all.